We may not win today, gentlemen, but we'll have a good time.
Hey everybody, I'm Ronnie.
I'm Rob.
I've painted a ton of minis over the years.
I've never painted a mini in my life.
He's going to learn how to paint, and I'm going to teach him.
Hey everybody, I just want to say a couple things real quick. First of all, I had a webcam set up to kind of film some of this when I started this out with Rob, and I think I can just do a lot better. So hopefully as this kind of goes on and Rob's skill with painting minis gets better, my skill with setting up a much better filming kind of apparatus comes along with that as well. So sorry about the first one. I think it should be better. I'm going to try a few different things in the future here now. Secondly, I just want to emphasize this is to kind of get a baseline. It's not to make fun of Rob. This is just so that you see kind of where he started out with the mini, what his very first one was like. Give him just a little bit of instructions on very fundamental things, but not about painting techniques, just so we get a good baseline with this one. Then I'll be kind of trying to teach him some things, and I really tried to ask him like some questions. I think each time I'm going to try to ask him questions to kind of get a little introspective and kind of help him learn. So if you're following along at home, if you're kind of trying out painting minis or you don't think you're that good, you want to try to get better, or just kind of jump into it, hopefully they're kind of questions that can kind of make you think a little bit too, and you kind of follow Rob along on the journey.
I don't know what better way to put it. I want to call it like a couched 5K mini painting journey. We're gonna see where this thing goes. For the first one, not in a mean way, but I don't want to give you any like skill tips or like, oh, think about doing this like a different way, or this is how I would do it, or anything like that. Not to make fun of you, but I just want to let this be a baseline, just raw, because when I started talking to you about this before, when was the last time you, anything, not a mini, because I don't think you've painted a mini.
Oh yeah, no, I've never painted a mini in my life.
This is a true couch.
This is
couch to 5K.
I haven't picked up a paintbrush in like
kindergarten,
4 or 5 years.
Like watercolors and or like
the last thing I painted was a door trim.
Okay,
so.
okay, like house paint. Okay, yeah. What about like artistic, creative painting, like in this sphere?
Let's see. When was the last time we painted in like a school setting?
In school setting, that's what I was saying. Like I was going back to thinking like, yeah, it's got to be like in school.
It's been a second. It's been a second.
It's been or two, but that's fine. The whole idea here, I think, what I kind of had this idea when every time we get together, we're playing D&D. A lot, like all the guys, and it's always cool. I take it always as a compliment, but like, Jake is always leveled at like the painting, and it's cool. It feels good that, you know, hey, people appreciate like, you know, what I've kind of painted. You feel like a sense of accomplishment. But I also started to feel like it's not magic. I really want this to like demystify like the difficulty of painting minis for people that are beginning and just want to like really look at these games as something to be fun that they want to get into, but are just not ready to jump that hurdle or jump into the pool and just try it. That's what I really kind of want to tackle with this series. So we're gonna call it a couch to 5K mini painting. I love it. I really like that.
So you are up against it right here. I have to.
Oh yes, yeah,
very much up against it.
Yeah, legitimately though. What are some of the things? I mean, we talked about. Go ahead. I know what you're leading into.
I'm not an artistic. I'm not an artistic type.
Yeah.
When it comes to colors, I have various disabilities.
Yes.
Not the least of which is my color blindness. So
that may be a challenge. That may be a challenge. Maybe everything you paint is green and purple.
Yeah, it's gonna be muted colors.
Muted colors. Yeah.
Or just wrong colors.
Or just incorrect. Yeah. So I actually think that's something that we're gonna try to address and figure out good maybe techniques or tricks or tips to kind of work around that, because like that obviously that would be kind of a big thing. Yeah, the whole idea here is we're going to end up with him painting his own Frostgrave warband, and we'll probably play some games with it. We'll start there.
So lesson number one.
Lesson number one.
All of your plastic stuff is below the desk.
All of it is below the desk. Here you go. You've got some water. And I've folded up a little paper towel for you if you need more paper towel, dry off the brushes or something. I usually kind of keep it right there. Other than that, I kind of have the paints laid out over here, and you're gonna want to give them a good shake. That is a fundamental thing that I don't feel like I'm spoiling teaching you something by just saying these paints. They'll kind of probably whatever, especially if you're getting mini paints. You're gonna need to give them a little shake because they're gonna separate the pigment and then like the water or the suspension. It's good to give them a little shake. So whichever one you end up kind of using, give it a little shake. Some of them, I will say, beware of the gold. The gold one has a little crack in the top, so the minute you open that top, it's going to be kind of running. Get ready to just give a drop and put it back on. But all the others, they're just like little dropper bottles. You'll be able to kind of squirt out a little bit. Minis are really small, so you're going to probably need a lot less than you think. So a little dip, and you can always, give a little drop or more. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, like I don't think that this is spoiling technique. You're gonna want to wash your brush out a good bit. Like when you do a little bit every couple minutes or so, it's probably gonna help you to wash it out. And then even if you're painting the same color,
it's not just when I shift.
Like not just when you shift, yeah. Because what can happen is it can dry like up in the brush, and the bristles. You might notice,
That makes sense.
Yeah. Other than that, I think if you have questions while you go, we'll tackle them. But just hit it. You got your selection here. I'm gonna kind of back up a little bit. I'm gonna give you free reign, and I'm gonna keep.
Guess you got to choose a color scheme.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, or you don't.
There's that yellow and purple.
Yellow and purple. I love it. Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good color scheme, right?
Nice. Yeah.
What's
I love it.
It's yellow and purple, orc blood and demonic yellow. I mean,
hey, we're setting ourselves up for success.
Sure.
Yeah, you have a lot of these like mini paints, especially the lines of paints that are for minis. You're never gonna find light gray, dark gray, mid-level purple. You're never gonna find that. Void shield blue, desert yellow, demonic yellow, lava orange, dragon red, fur brown. Like you're gonna get. It's I start kind of looking at just the color itself versus the name. But,
right.
Yeah, but the names are entertaining for sure.
Obviously, his flesh has to be a certain color, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's
So you kind of thinking, let's gather up the paints? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool.
just trying to think of what we might use. I mean, his staff, I imagine, is a brown.
So here we.
You know what? I'm going to start with his beard. I think. Get a good.
I'm
Wizard beard going on.
From here on out, I'm like 95% along for the ride.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Giving you.
This is going to go great.
Giving you that confidence, right?
Yeah. I definitely know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
But
shaking it up.
again, this is all about like just try it out. Like I don't expect it to be like a masterpiece the very first time you touch a brush, but we'll be able to come back to this and go, whoa, look at how far I've come, look at how much I've learned. So
All right.
don't overthink it. Just dive in, get some paint going.
All right. I've selected a very narrow brush compared to this one, at least. Who knows? He does. He knows.
Yeah,
he knows.
I know.
He'll tell me.
Don't worry. We'll go. We'll learn.
All right. Here's Wizardy. Come up with a name for him, I suppose.
Yeah, it could be a work in progress. We can think of it as.
Call him Weird Colors.
Yeah, like a lot of times when I'm playing spellcasters in games and stuff, I've started going with Ron Sputin. Because I think that's hilarious.
That's a great one.
But if you paint a little lower, I bet this will catch it pretty good. Yeah. There we go.
Gotcha.
Is that cool? Is that
Yeah. Is it focusing that?
Oh yeah. I think that'll.
Down here. It's hard when you get into it.
Mm-hmm. I see yellow robes. It's coming.
Yellow on various other things that
Yeah.
shouldn't be on.
Oh rare yellowwood staff. By the gods!
Yeah.
Where did you find such a mystic item?
Just that part.
yeah, it's only that one knot in the wood down there. It's yellow. It's a rare.
It's a rare thing.
Very
Paid extra for it.
Very valuable.
It's,
What is it they did?
I'm trying to put some purple accents on the inside of the sleeve.
Okay.
Now it just kind of looks like he had a peanut butter jelly sandwich explosion.
Well, listen, sometimes when you're a wizard, you're practicing spells to like make somebody else's head explode. You don't want to try that in the heat of combat. You want to make a PB&J at home in the comfort of your own wizard lab.
Sometimes you explode your lunch.
And try to make your lunch explode. That flesh tone is always kind of tough to mix up, yeah. That's normal. That happens to a lot of people. First time. Don't worry about it.
You sure shouldn't see a professional about that, or?
I'm sure. It's totally cool. Totally normal. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. Ronnie, can you look at my brush? Can you take a look at my paintbrush? Do I need to get this jerk out? Is this okay? Is
this normal? What's happened to you?
Is this brush supposed to look like? I don't understand. Good.
I think I'm done ruining him.
Yeah. Maybe. Hang on.
I mean,
I'm not quite ready.
Let me put the final finishing touches on.
Let me
ruining
shiv
this
him
thing.
in the rib and stab him in the eye. I think he's good.
All right, sure.
Cool.
He is what he is.
There you go. This is it's pretty tacky glue, but so it should be able to kind of hold them a little bit, but it'll slide. But yeah, man. Good deal. So
add like
yeah.
a little purple streak or like highlights or something, but it didn't do
the
thing
paint
I wanted.
didn't behave the way you were
No,
supposed to. That's all right.
So I chickened out.
I think you got everything painted. You even painted the base without me saying anything about it, which I think that's easy to miss. I like it. You picked out a color scheme. You got everything painted. It's a finished model. What are your thoughts after painting your first mini?
My hands hurt. No, it's definitely like I can definitely feel it in this hand, especially like kind of cramping up a
Cramped
little
up
bit.
from holding them?
Yeah, a little bit. It's really detailed. Like, really got to have that dexterity to get in there. I'm definitely not used to that yet.
Yeah, just a little different different, kind of holding a small brush and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Did anything seem harder or easier than you were expecting it to be?
It looks super streaky. Like just getting the paint to
Mm-hmm.
adhere uniformly,
Smooth
like,
and everything. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
definitely not.
Right. Yeah.
It's definitely not good on him.
That's right. That's right. Hey, like I said, he'll be something to compare to. So for sure, that's something like working on a base coat would be. It's something to kind of do.
Yeah, just like getting used to the ergonomics of holding paintbrush and
Mhm.
spreading paint around and stuff.
Yeah.
It's certainly. I'm certainly feeling that now.
Mhm.
Like all hunched over.
Is there anything that you now that you've kind of you're done painting this? I think one of the things about like colors, I think it's a matter of in your mind you kind of think, okay, like let's take the yellow robe. You kind of go, okay, I want to make a yellow robe. It's so easy. Your brain does a lot of the processing and interpreting for you of like everything in your day-to-day life, that you look at somebody who's actually wearing like a yellow robe, and you would see, like, if they're in bright light, you would see almost white on the highlighted surfaces, and you would see maybe like almost a brown in the shadows where that yellow is really shaded and that kind of stuff. But your brain doesn't go, there's a little brown in that yellow, there's some white, there's some orange over there. It just goes, oh, that's a yellow robe that's shaded in that certain lighting. And the hard part is actually not being so abstract. It's actually being like very raw, analytical of what something really looks like.
Real literal
Real,
about where
literal
the light's
stuff.
reflecting off of and
Absolutely.
stuff like that. All right.
And it's something that I think that people, unless you start kind of getting into that, it's your brain does all this processing. It just feels like magic, because you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about all those things about, hey, there's a little bit of brown or white in those shades and highlights of a yellow robe. And when you start doing those kind of tricks to make it really pop out as looking yellow, you're kind of like, whoa, okay, that's your brain is perceiving things. So
yeah, I certainly wasn't thinking about lighting.
Mhm.
I
No.
put yellow on the robe.
And I don't think that you need to overly think about it either, but just those types of things that like actually, the way that your brain is processing or perceiving colors, we kind of do to get a good kind of result. We can easily do some tricks that kind of will fool your brain when you're kind of looking at a mini. I think you did good. I think you did good on your very first mini, dude. You got one done. You've painted a mini now.
It has paint on it, yeah.
You no longer have zero painting experience on your bus. So the next one better be.
So now there's expectations.
Now there's expectations. Yeah. Damn it! Oh, I got suckered in.
I have to make the next one as good as this one.
Yeah, I think. Are there things that you go, you know what? I want to know how to do this better on the next mini. Like I felt myself struggling to do this or that. Like in the back when you're saying you're trying to do that the little highlight or
like a purple highlight down his
streak.
robe. But
Yep.
like, yeah, the paint did not behave in the way
That's right.
I was expecting.
But things like that. Is there anything that that you feel like, boy, I want to figure out how to do this a little better on the next one, or maybe not the next one, but the next few?
Yeah, I mean, just like getting the paint to spread uniformly, like on his hat there, like it looks
streaky, like you were
all
saying.
streaky, like
Yep.
there's thick points and thin points.
Yeah.
And then just like, I don't know, when it's good to put another color or another color paint on top of another color.
How colors kind of maybe work together, kind
Yeah.
of figuring that out a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed away from mixing any colors because it's just.
Yeah, that's right. But you know that technology exists.
Yeah,
I've heard
seen-
tale.
I've seen some.
I've heard legends.
professional
I've
color
heard legends
seers.
of people who mix paints. Yeah.
Yeah, just that detail work, like getting into.
Yeah,
getting into,
were you
the
trying to
rigid
get
sleeves,
you were
like,
trying to get
make it-
into that sleeve or the
Yeah.
robe part that's in between, tucked into the sleeve. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like instead of like making it look like brush strokes, like
Mhm.
blending that in. There's a good way of doing that. Like,
Sometimes, especially with something like that, I might paint in that yellow first and be a little sloppy, so that then as you're painting out, as you're coming out like three-dimensionally from the figure, it's easier to get to those. It's hard to paint something and then have to work into a crevice. But if you paint the crevice and you're neaten up as you kind of come out, sometimes that's an easy way to do it.
So a better idea is the paint from the inside
It's
out.
the inside out kind of.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the deepest recess. If you run into something like that, sometimes it's not too bad, but it's probably like the next mini we paint. I think we'll have like a little planning session. We'll look at it and we'll kind of really strategize about what to paint, you know, in what order.
That'd be a good idea. I need that.
And I think the first place to start is like base coating, of getting the smooth, like you're saying, like the smooth coats and getting it to not be streaky.